Happy Sunday, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about my history with Christianity. So, I was baptized at Burke Lutheran Church in Madison, Wisconsin. And I remember going every Sunday and singing in church. So, that's how I learned to sing. I really appreciate you, mom and dad, for pushing me to sing, even when I didn't want to, and going, when I wanted to stay at home. But I also went with my mom, just us two, a lot too. I don't know exactly why, but I was, in the back of church while she was at choir practice. There'd be a girl who was a little bit older than myself taking care of me, babysitting me in the back of church. And a lot of times we just watch Veggie Tales together or hang out, um, do some little worksheets or, go through a workbook of some kind. And I also have fond memories of flipping lefse with the grandmas in the basement of Burke Lutheran Church. They were sticklers. You had to get it exactly right. If you burned it, they got mad and they put you on, potato duty, mashing up balls, and you got to get off the left iron if you're messing up. And all the smorgasbords we would have after service, everybody lining up, chatting, having a good time. Some memories in the basement, running around there, being a kid. This is where I first went to church at Burke Lutheran. They rebuilt it over there. And I got a photo of the old one. But yeah, a lot of memories in there. The building is no longer there. It's all right. Also, with my dad, we planted a forest. I went and saw it. It's not quite a full forest, but a lot of trees back in the property behind Burke Lutheran. And I went back and saw it yesterday. It does look like they used part of the old church. I heard that the chapel is actually from the old building. We're going back here where those trees are at. I know some people might say, well, this looks like trees already. Did you do this? No, you can tell they're not in rows. This is just natural growth. This looks like it here. I remember riding on the tractor with my dad, planting these trees. We've grown up since then. Made a lot of progress. They're talking about possibly selling that land to pay for the church's, property tax, whatever fees they need to take care of now, which is kind of sad. It's really nice back there, and they would probably just level it out for more homes, condos that they're building around that north side of Madison, Windsor area right now. So this is what I mean when I say I grew up in church. In one of my recent records, some of you might reference that. What I mean by I grew up in church, I was there all the time. I didn't go to Bible study. I didn't attend multiple services in a day or anything like that. I wasn't in the choir. Did some plays earlier on when I was a kid and maybe in like the kid choir for a little bit, but wasn't in the actual church choir, wasn't there all the time. I don't know biblical stories like others do that have studied the Bible. I know basic, general stories, but if you quiz me, I'm going to fail. I guarantee it. We did move into our new house, which I've gone through before. And then we switched churches. We started going to Norway Grove Memorial Lutheran Church up into Forest, and that's where I went to confirmation. We didn't go here for that long, pretty much just until I finished up my confirmation. And so that was a lot more hanging out in the church basement, just staying out of trouble. We're trying to. Had a crew of guys who'd just hang out and not do a lot. I mean, it wasn't It wasn't too crazy. We weren't pressed to learn everything, learn the Lord's Prayer, and sang some and got the general stories down, but that's about it. Wasn't super intense. Got confirmed, and then my mom was really the one, pushing us to go to church. My dad wasn't so much into it. He was into taking care of the property and running the soundboards and stuff like that and going, but my mom was really into getting us there. She slowed down after we were confirmed, said that we could make more of that decision ourselves at that point. And I wasn't really into church, as I've kind of talked about already. Didn't find myself in church or anything like that. Found value, but I had a lot of other things I was interested in. Eventually, we moved to United Church of Christ in Windsor my last year or so of high school, and they wound up giving me a scholarship, so I really appreciate that very much. Even though we weren't there for that long, you helped out a lot with that scholarship, so I really appreciate you for doing that. Some would say the Lutheran church is dry. You have the piano, you have the choir, but at UCC, they had a whole live band, different singers going up, and it's kind of like Charlie Day's take on The Pastor and It's Always Sunny. It's really just based on like everyday type stuff, and pastor be walking around. It's much more interactive with the crowd, just a few feet away from you interacting. It's not like they're up on a stage just preaching to you at the pulpit, as much as the Lutheran churches that I saw were. This all being said, I don't refer to myself as a Christian. And if I have in the past, it's been very few times. I'm not out advertising that I'm a Christian. I've literally never been evangelical about Christianity. I've never tried to convince anyone in my whole life to become a Christian. I've never used it as a power over anyone. I've never used it to belittle anyone. And I've never used Christianity as an excuse in any situation. I've seen churches do a lot of good in this area. Food pantries, shelters, clothing drives, job fairs, speakers, charity events, much more. I love the uplifting nature of Sunday service too. I definitely can't put that down. The overall positive and motivational messages that you get from going to Sunday service put me in a certain kind of mood. I remember, we'd go and go through church, and if we made it through and we were good, then we could get donuts and, play a game or something at home, do something outdoors with the family. So it really kind of created a mood on Sundays. To me, my religion is sort of like my health diagnoses and how many guns I have or who I'm dating. It's not really something that I just put out there or I think is really the public's business at all, or even some friends. I don't just share this kind of information with anyone. But I do believe in a God of some sort, if not more than one. I use aspects from many different religions in my daily life to make sense of the world and find peace. Believing in a higher power has given me strength countless times when I've been at the lowest points in my life, and added a little extra boost when I'm at the peaks. It's also helped keep me motivated on a daily basis. The Bible is a good book. It's a good read. There are a lot of interesting stories in there. I question people that say the Bible is a terrible book. I don't give a fuck if you're an atheist at all. I don't care. You don't believe in anything. Okay. That's about how I feel. All right. I don't care. You're not God, and you don't have all the answers. That's about it. I'm not going to, as a blah, 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 as a this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do that. That kind of diseased way of analyzing situations is toxic. It's a source of ignorance and regression in America. I don't care about those kind of opinions really at all. Those qualifying statement, thought terminating cliche sort of fake logic statements. I know some of this is not going to sit well, probably especially with the Catholic majority of Wisconsin. they're just very much, for the most part, stuck in their ways of doing things, materialism, bigotry, and adhering to institutional hierarchies. It's okay. I'm used to it. I know the type of things that they're going to say, type of bullshit. Not that all Lutherans or Protestants are perfectly progressive or socially conscious either, but in my experience, Catholics, for the most part, in this area are very, 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 very regressive and stuck in their ways. But I'm sorry about all this gold on my shoulders, all this mess on my neck, this jury, if it's blinding you. It's not real. It's real. This physically exists, but it's not solid gold or real diamonds or whatever. I'm not materialistic like that. And for those of you that would like some clarification on the difference between fashion and materialism, which are literally not codependent, I plan on making another episode on that. I was taught in my upbringing with the Lutheran Church, which is even more traditional and old, but then also with UCC, that it's our personal relationship with God that's most important. You and God, that's it. No one else. And to make sense of these stories from the Bible in our day-to-day life, to make them applicable, to help you move forward, to get you fulfillment and happiness. That's my experience. Lastly, I want to give a special thanks to Anthony Brown, formerly Anthony Lamar, for bringing me in on all these incredible hip-hop records, Christian or gospel type songs that we started doing in 2013. You're a masterful artist and an amazing producer. The beats are made from scratch. For those that don't know, organic instruments, and we recorded everything in studios around Madison. You've created opportunities for me to perform and get on stages that I wasn't able to get on outside of our collaborations, and I really appreciate you for that. We won multiple Madison Area Music Awards, and we were nominated for a Wisconsin Area Music Industry Award. I love that our crew on these tracks is multi-ethnic too. Our flows are all different, but you find a way to piece us together like a director and a choir. These records are very special to me, and I'll forever be thankful to you. Many blessings to all who are working on being their best self.